whatever you want to call it. It's called visual habit breaking. Okay, and it's very simple, and I want you to listen carefully. And you can apply this, guys, not just to trading, you can apply this to your life. What you have in front of you is two very powerful pictures. Two pictures that speak, so many words, speak that can elicit all sorts of emotion. I mean, the picture on the left is just, it's sheer beauty, it's power, it's nature, it's just so many things. The picture on the right also, again, speaks 1,000 things of sadness, poverty, no way out, no future. There's so many emotions. Just looking at both of these pictures, if you stopped and looked at these for 5, 10, 15 minutes and just try to visualize what was all the feelings that picture elicits from you, right? That's the step one, is that a picture ultimately creates a lot of emotion. And that's why you see very effective advertising utilizes these very powerful pictures, because they elicit emotion, they create thought, they provoke you. Pictures are extremely powerful. Now, if you want to learn to break a habit, it's time you start using pictures. I'm going to show you what I mean. So, I took this from my journal this week. Okay, I've been battling with this for 2 weeks now. It's something that's crept into my trading. It's a result of a bit of frustration. It's a result of there's a number of factors, but I've got a few strategies I'm testing, and I'm getting a little bit overexcited at the moment. And what it's causing me to do is it's causing me to overtrade. In other words, I'm committing to too many different trades across many different markets at sometimes even at the same time. So what I did was I create myself a loop. In other words, I go and I say to myself, I overtrade. It's becoming a bad habit and it's creeping into my trading. I go write down every single emotion that comes with overtrading. Every single thought, every single feeling. Now, some of the emotions I came up with was I found that overtrading is really hard work. Like it's absolutely hard work, and it's extremely exhausting. I'd get to the end of the day and I'd be so exhausted with all the work I've done. Mostly I'd become anxious. I'd feel like, I've done a lot today, I've taken a lot of risk, and suddenly I'm feeling a little bit anxious about what I've done today. That would start to stir a little bit of emotion in me. It would create all sorts of emotions inside of me. When those emotions hit a boiling point, I would start to lose a little bit of control. Now that can be controlled in a number of reasons. One, it could cause me to keep on overtrading. It could effectively, get me to lose focus. All right? That losing focus can again make me more anxious. It can make me more tired. It can create more emotion. But ultimately, it all leads to the same thing, which is a loss. And not just a financial loss, guys, but a loss of confidence, a loss of energy. Right? And in turn, what this creates when I come in the next day is my loop. And it gives me a whole lot more pressure. And guess what I do when I find I'm under pressure? Bang, I continue to overtrade. And the spiral continues, and it keeps going around and around and around. So I've created this habit that's now giving me a feedback loop. And this feedback loop will not stop until I do something about it. So what do I do to get rid of this bad habit? It's very simple. I create the illusion. What does it look like? So it's simple, guys. When you're struggling with something, what I want you to do, what I want you to try, is go and create 2 pages. An A4 page, create it on a visualization wall. Do it in whatever way you want. But what you want to do is you want to take all those emotions. So if we go back a page, you can see every one of these emotions of hard work, tiring, anxious, emotional, loss of control, loss of focus, loss of confidence, loss of money, pressure. I want to take every one of these emotions and I want to illustrate it in a picture. Why? Because the brain remembers pictures a lot better than words, a lot better than anything else. So you create the visual aspect. And you create every one of those feelings, that burning, that loss of control, every one of those feelings, and you create a picture, right? Fighting against the wall, anxious, pain, too many things going on at the same time, frustration, wanting to scream, wanting to just be hard on myself, losses, and ultimately just a very unhappy person. You create this visual impact and you stick it on one wall. And then on the other side, you go and say, what will my emotions be like? What will it feel like if I'm not overtrading? And suddenly things like success come into mind. Things like happiness, things like control, things like focus, things like, willing to take more risk, energized, all these positive emotions come into mind. They come flooding into the back of your mind. And you give it a smiley face. And you create the two complete opposites right next to each other. And then you just stare there and you look at it and you say to yourself, every time I commit to this bad habit, this is the state I am choosing. It's a state you choose because you're choosing to not get rid of this bad habit. And then on the right side, you go and you say to yourself, well, these are the emotions, the feelings, all the wonderful things I could feel if I kick this habit. If you do this, you are going to start teaching your mind to almost create these wonderful little pictures in the back of your head. More importantly, every time you overtrade, bang, guess what's going to come into the back of your head? This guy screaming. This guy fighting the wind with his umbrella. This guy with a phone and a signature and everything coming at the same time. Those are the pictures that are going to come into your conscious mind. And guess what? You are going to deliberately start breaking this habit. You're going to get these constant feedback reminders through an illusion or a picture. Try it this week, guys. Try it with anything. Everything I say to you, remember, I always want you to try it. I'm giving you something that might work for you. It might not. You might, look at this and say, well, it's complete bullshit. And that's fine. That's cool. At the end of the day, I want you to try it because maybe it works. And if it does, I'm adding value to you.